This is why Ibrahim Traoré, one of the youngest presidents in the world, has become one of the most influential African leaders of our time. At just 37 years old, his story did not begin in a palace or a parliament. It began in 2010, inside a military camp. A photograph from that year shows a young Traoré shortly after joining the army as a junior rank. Those who served with him recall that when he was not training, he was often found lying in a tent, reading, writing, and questioning everything. Quiet, observant, a man searching for answers. In 2014, his intelligence and discipline earned him deployment to Mali under the United Nations peacekeeping mission, MINUSMA. He served in some of the most dangerous zones, including Timbuktu, and was recognized for his courage during militant attacks in 2018. By 2020, he was promoted to captain. But Traoré was not just fighting, he was asking questions others avoided. Why were they fighting in Mali while Burkina Faso was burning? Why did the attacks look coordinated? And how were terrorists so well armed when their countries had nothing? In 2018, his base was attacked by hundreds of extremists. When senior orders failed, Traoré reportedly took command and led a successful counterattack, an event that left him with a facial scar and cemented his reputation as a leader under fire. In 2019, he returned to eastern Burkina Faso, assisting counterinsurgency operations. By now, he was no longer fighting blindly. He was searching for the root cause of the chaos destabilizing his country. When Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba seized power in January 2022, Traoré gave him a chance to lead. But months passed, promises faded, and foreign influence deepened. In September 2022, Traoré led a counter-coup, believing that if you don't have the strength to finish a fight, you should never start it. Once in power, he acted fast. French military forces were expelled. Unfavorable defense and mining agreements were terminated. France 24 and RFI were suspended. French diplomats were expelled. Burkina Faso declared its sovereignty, clearly and publicly. The reasons were simple: control national resources, end ineffective foreign security arrangements, restore dignity and self-determination. But Traoré knew this was not the end of the struggle. Having learned from what happened to Thomas Sankara, he understood vigilance was survival. Burkina Faso strengthened ties with Russia, Turkey, and Iran, and joined Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. Together, the three nations withdrew from ECOWAS, accusing it of foreign influence, sanctions, and failure to protect the region.
Les criminels qui sont au Burkina, mais qui ne sont pas burkinabés. Il y a aussi des formateurs qui viennent de beaucoup de pays pour les apprendre beaucoup de techniques.
Mais quel est leur intérêt?
Mais ce n'est pas du terrorisme en fait, c'est de l'impérialisme. L'objectif pour eux, c'est de nous maintenir dans une guerre permanente, qu'on ne puisse pas se développer et continuer à piller nos richesses.
Then came development. A country long labeled one of the poorest proved otherwise. To run a government, you need money. Traoré's answer was bold: nationalize and modernize gold production. Burkina Faso launched state-of-the-art gold refining, processing its gold locally, increasing value, creating jobs, and cutting illegal exports. The results were historic. After 62 years of independence, Burkina Faso had less than 3,000 kilometers of paved roads. Under Traoré, 8,000 kilometers of tarmac roads were built in about 1 year, without IMF loans, without foreign debt. When contractors inflated costs, Traoré said no. The military bought machines, Burkina-Bay engineers were hired, jobs were created. Communities joined in through Faso Mebo, donating materials and labor to build their own country. Farmers gained access to markets, transport improved, night travel reduced. 700 buses were purchased to ease transportation, and by 2025, more machines were delivered, aiming to pave every road on the map by 2026. Together with Mali and Niger, Burkina Faso launched a joint development bank and began work on a 1,200-kilometer railway linking Ouagadougou, Bamako, and Niger, led by the national company Faso Rail, a symbol of Pan-African self-reliance. This series focuses on Burkina Faso, with Mali and Niger coming next, because Ibrahim Traoré's journey proves one thing: Africa is rich, Africa can build itself, and Africa's future belongs to those brave enough to act. Thank you for watching. Our next episode will focus on agriculture development. The full documentary arrives April 2026. Support the journey by joining the channel or sending a super thanks. See you in the next episode, and Merry Christmas.